Well, hello, everybody. I first of all want to thank all of you for the really great comments that I got back on our video yesterday about faith, both here on YouTube, but also those of you that know me personally that sent me private messages. I really appreciate the feedback and that you're enjoying our discussions. And I want to encourage people, please, when you watch the videos, to reach out with your thoughts. Like I mentioned in my introduction, this is a journey for me as well. And I certainly do not know everything, but I would like to know more. And by us discussing different topics, we're going to get that opportunity both for you and for me in this journey to learn more about one another and to bring us closer together. So I thought today I would do a little add on to yesterday's video about faith based on some of the comments that I got. And, for me personally, I think obviously much of who we are and how we project ourselves and how we look at things has a great deal to do with uh, how we grew up and what our support systems were as we grew up. I mentioned before that I was very blessed to have the nuclear family. I had a wonderful and supportive mother, a wonderful and supportive father, a beautiful sister who we may not have always gotten along, but as we matured and grew up, she is without a doubt one of my very closest confidants, friends, and I love her very much. I also, quite frankly, part of that development for me, and hopefully for you as well, is the recognition that we're all very, very blessed. Those of you that live here in the United States, um, to be in a society that is open to different mindsets. I mean, I was born in the 60s. I have seen a whole lot of things, not as much as others, but I've seen a lot of changes in our society, many for the good, many I would argue are not for the good. Um, but but the parts about growing up in a place where I was free, I was free to have my faith. I was free to have my belief systems. I was free to express those belief systems, as were you, makes for a unique perspective that sometimes I think we take for granted because there are other parts of the world that don't experience that. And so, how this pertains to faith is I want to continue to encourage you to reach out, learn about other faiths. Yesterday, most of my conversation was about Christian Judeo thought processes and history. And, there are a lot of other faiths out there. I fully admit that I am not an expert on Hinduism. I have had the luxury of, being able to read a little bit about it, and I have some very good friends that I worked with that live in India, and I got to learn a lot more about that faith in practice from those relationships. I'm actually looking forward to one of my bucket list trips is to go visit a couple of the friends that I have made in business in Hyderabad, spend some time with their family, and learn more about their culture because I have read the history about India and it's a fascinating place. It's just, there's so much beauty, there's so much wisdom, there's so many great things to learn, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to learning more about Hinduism simply because the parts of it that I have been exposed to through my friends and through some readings, there's so much beauty. And, a lot of what I've been exposed to is about self improvement, self awareness, being in tune with your community and nature. And, so many of those things are exactly the same belief systems that I have in Catholicism. So it only urges and encourages me to learn more about how we're similar. Are the are the basics very different? Yeah, but the belief systems and how we support our neighbors and how we support our communities and um, how we interact with others and find fulfillment through loving our neighbors, those are all absolutely co-tenants of our different belief systems. And so I bring this up today only because I kind of left out other belief systems and faiths yesterday, and that was not my intention. My intention was really to have you think about, open your mind to learning more about faiths that maybe you didn't think about learning more about. We've got to be very, very careful not to just uh, listen to others and pick up the things that we want to pick up. That again, there are plenty of faiths that because of people's prejudices or misunderstandings, and I don't mean prejudice from an evil standpoint, but simply because they have predetermined thoughts about somebody's faith and they really don't know the faith. And that's kind of the challenge that we all have is before we criticize, we need to know what it is that we're making commentary about. Can't be derogatory about something that we really don't understand or know. And, again, my experience, and I hope my continued experience in this journey, is that I learn more and more about these other faiths and get to understand the beauty. People don't follow these faiths because they're evil. They follow the faiths because they find comfort and solace and connection and love within these faiths. We need to broaden our minds to experience that as well. So I continue to encourage you to give me your feedback. Um, we'll have a different topic tomorrow. But we can always, and probably will, always come back to the topic of faith just because there's so many things we haven't discussed yet that I hope continue to bring us all closer. So, with that being said, I hope you have a blessed day, a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you so much for the feedback, and I look forward to seeing more.